So today we're going to solve this quadratic equation, and we're going to do it by using the quadratic formula. One of the things that we need to notice about this particular quadratic equation is that it is not factorable. So if we use our standard methods of factoring, we would say a times c, which would be 1 times 3, but there are no factors of 3 that give you -9. When you cannot factor it, one thing you can do is use quadratic formula. Our quadratic formula is x equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay. Now, we need to first identify A, B, and C. Now, you cannot identify A, B, and C until this equation is set equal to 0. So if you have a problem that's not set equal to 0, you should do that first. This problem is set equal to 0. So A is the coefficient of the x squared term, which in our case is 1. B is the coefficient of the x term, which in our case is -9. C is the constant, which is 3. So we want to plug this in to our quadratic formula, and it's really, really important that when you plug this in, that you plug in using parentheses. So we're going to put parentheses around everything, then you can simplify on the next step. We get negative from the formula, and then B, which is -9, plus or minus the square root of -9, which is b, now squared, minus 4 times a, which in our problem is 1, and c in our problem is 3. And then we're going to divide everything by 2 times 1. Now from here, what I would suggest you do is simplify this if it needs to be simplified, and here it does. So we just get 9. And then we have plus or minus square root, and now I'm going to put all the rest of this in the calculator all at the same time. Now I don't suggest putting the square root in the calculator with it because you're not sure what is going to be under that square root, and if you were to put a negative in your calculator, then a square root of a negative would give you an error because that really is an imaginary number. So we want to know what is going to happen under this square root first. Okay, so let's take our calculator and put this in. Let's see what we get here. So watch how I'm putting this in. I want to put exactly what I see. So we get parentheses -9 squared. Whoops, hold on. Parentheses -9 squared minus 4 times 1 times 3. Now your calculator is going to recognize those two parentheses together as multiplication. So we hit enter and we get 69. And then this is still all over 2 times 1, which gives you 2. Okay, so I don't really need all this. Now we need our calculator to see if this 69 can simplify. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do this every time, but I do want to see if the calculator will simplify this because it's not a negative number. If it was negative, we may have to do something different. All right, so this is going to be square root of 69, and our wonderful calculator just gives us square root of 69 right back out, which means that this is not going to simplify any further. And that is our answer. So we just get square root of 69 here over 2. Now, if your computer asked for 2 separate answers, this is how you would separate this. You would say 9 plus square root of 69 all over 2, comma, 9 minus square root of 69 all over 2. So that would be your 2 separate answers for the quadratic formula if you needed to separate it.